Tonight, we are live from Philadelphia, the birthplace of America, and also ground zero for this dangerous heat wave as America's 250th birthday begins right now. The celebrations ramping up from coast to coast, but those life-threatening triple-digit temperatures.
It's really dangerous.
Scrambling plans. Here in Philly, the nation's biggest 4th of July parade canceled. The governor telling me why.
We want everybody to be safe,
And the Great American State Fair on the Washington Mall shut down for hours.
Freaking hot. Very, very hot.
Amtrak canceling dozens of trains. We're live across the country as this once-in-a-generation birthday bash begins. The fireworks over Mount Rushmore just hours away. The ball drop in Times Square to ring in the 4th. And we're with the tall ships for their epic sail into New York Harbor.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
NBC News with exclusive access to the largest maritime gathering in U.S. history. Also tonight, the deadly shooting at a mall in Michigan, terrifying videos of shoppers fleeing, and this image of a man with a gun, 2 people killed. The suspected shark attack on a packed New York beach, what we're learning about the victim and how he survived. Our Richard Engel inside of Iran as millions prepare to attend the funeral for the former Ayatollah killed by the U.S. The stunning footage blurred by police, a toddler declared dead by a doctor, then found breathing and alive, all of it playing out on body cam. The wedding event of the year is finally here. The celebrities arriving for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's celebration tonight. As we celebrate 250, the parades and fireworks that have already begun, including the skydiver with an American flag crashing into a rodeo. Why he says he'll fly again tonight. While here in Philly, the woman who has protected the legacy of the Liberty Bell for decades. We're covering it all tonight. The celebrations big and small, as the home of the brave braves the heat to celebrate America's 250.
This is a special edition of NBC Nightly News. On the eve of America's 250. Reporting tonight from the birthplace of America, Philadelphia, here is Tom Yamas.
And good evening. We are live tonight from Philadelphia, the birthplace of America, where right behind me, inside of Independence Hall there, our founding fathers came up with our founding principles: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, adopting the Declaration of Independence 250 years ago tomorrow. And to commemorate this epic milestone that puts America on its glorious path, the celebrations have already begun across the country. But there is a danger hanging over this weekend. Get this, here in Philly on July 4th, 1776, it hit a high, of course, of 76 degrees. Today, it was a brutal feels-like temperature of 111 degrees. And trust me, that's exactly how it feels right now. It's so hot, what was supposed to be the biggest parade in the country here in Philadelphia was canceled. You can see the floats ready to go right there, but just standing by. They even had to temporarily shut down the Great American State Fair in Washington, one of President Trump's signature events today, to keep people safe. But the heat cannot dampen the spirit across this great country. Some parades have already begun. And perhaps the marquee event of the holiday, the tall ships are preparing for their sensational journey into New York. Millions set to come out to see the biggest maritime gathering in American history. And NBC News is going to have exclusive access to all of it. Independence Mall behind me, fairly empty right now, but tomorrow it will be packed as America goes all out for its 250th anniversary. Tonight, celebrating America's 250th birthday under scorching heat. You can see floats here lined up for what would have been the biggest parade for July 4th in Philadelphia, canceled by triple-digit temperatures.
I had no idea it was going to, be this bad.
But across America, the celebrations go on, including in Folsom, California, the site of this mishap as a skydiver comes in for a landing. Luckily, no one was injured. All as 151 million people are sweltering under heat alerts today. with dangerous, record-breaking temps across the central and eastern U.S. In some cases, 20 degrees above average. NBC 10 Philadelphia meteorologist Brittany Shipp has been tracking all of it. You just walk outside and you feel this heat, and it's also so dangerous.
You have to take your time. We're seeing some of the hottest temperatures we've seen in over 100 years, and extreme heat is the #1 weather-related killers.
In Washington, D.C., officials announcing the Great American State Fair would be postponed for several hours because of the heat, right in the middle of a jet flyover.
Attention, fairgoers. The event has been postponed.
Emergency personnel seen treating several in the crowd for heat, but the excitement still high.
Once in a lifetime opportunity, and I cannot believe that I live here to be able to enjoy this with my children.
Nationwide, the CDC reporting a dramatic increase in emergency room visits for heat-related illnesses, including heat stroke, throughout the Midwest and East Coast. With the heat dome across the U.S. dangerous for workers outside, like these roofers.
Sweltering. It's like working in an oven.
New York City now under triple-digit temperatures for the first time in a decade. Still, it's not dampening celebrations in Times Square, where they're doing a ball drop for every U.S. time zone as we head towards America's 250th birthday, including this morning for Guam. And take a look at this breathtaking sight in New York City's harbor, a fleet honoring America, channeling generations of history. Tall ships from around the world, primed for a parade, with few parallels. Towering vessels from the Americas to Europe, making their way up the East Coast for Sail Forth 250. The historic flotilla, navigated by thousands of sailors, will parade up New York's Hudson River as the biggest maritime gathering in U.S. history. NBC's Sam Brock getting a preview with the Class B ships.
The Class B parade has drawn thousands of people here to South Street Seaport, and this is the prelude to tomorrow's main event.
And NBC Washington's Tommy McFly is out on the water.
I'm on the Alyssa, an American ship and one of the oldest sailing hulls in operation. Today, smaller vessels made their way down the East River, getting ready for all the action tomorrow.
Captain Gerben Knob will be sailing a restored Dutch ship.
It's a big honor to lead the parade, and we're really looking forward to it.
Tonight, President Trump will travel for a 4th of July event at Mount Rushmore, and then return to Washington, where they're planning a historic celebration tomorrow.
Today we have the largest economy on earth. We have the strongest military on earth. As we stand on the edge of our 250th year of independence, I am thrilled to declare that America is back.
NBC's Ryan Nobles is in Washington tonight.
When the sun goes down over the nation's capital, organizers are preparing a record-breaking fireworks display with plans to shoot off more than 800,000 lights.
With President Trump then set to speak at a rally capping off the celebrations.
It's going to be approximately 107 degrees out. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make a really long speech just to show that I can do anything.
And in France, they're turning the Eiffel Tower red, white, and blue in honor of America's big birthday. Plus, a special message from Rome today from the American Pope.
I join you in asking God's blessings upon America's future.
And back here in Philadelphia, we spoke to Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro in the city where it all began 250 years ago tomorrow. What does Philly mean to this country?
I mean, Tom, that's where it all happened. When Ben Franklin emerged from the convention and a woman walked over to him and said, Dr. Franklin, what do we have here? A monarchy or a republic? Franklin looked her in the eye and said, a republic if you can keep it. That's been our American calling card, a responsibility of each successive generation to do our part to defend our democracy.
So much history in this one city. I do want to bring back NBC 10 Philadelphia meteorologist Brittany Shipp. Brittany, we talked about that danger with this heat. Walk our viewers through what they can expect this weekend.
Unfortunately, the dangerous heat is going to continue, and it is pretty expansive. In fact, 154 million people are going to be at risk between heat advisories and heat alerts across a good portion of the nation, extending from Boston down towards Charlotte, even down towards Atlanta. This is a prolonged and life-threatening threatening heat wave that will continue even into the 4th of July. Take a look at Washington, D.C. tomorrow, 102 degrees with a feels-like temperature of 109, and I know that is where you're heading tomorrow.
Yeah, people want to have fun, but they got to be real careful. Brittany, so great to have you on the broadcast. We thank you again. And a reminder, we will have exclusive access to the tall ships. Our full coverage begins tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern, right here on NBC. Tonight, we're also tracking a chaotic scene at a suburban Detroit mall as shoppers were getting ready for the 4th. Police say 2 shooters opened fire. Videos from the scene showing customers sprinting to safety. Here's Maggie Vespa with that video.
Terror and gunshots.
Oh my God!
After police say 2 gunmen opened fire in a Michigan mall, leaving 3 people shot, 2 killed. This chilling video may have captured one of the shooters. Here you see a man in a red shirt holding a gun, multiple people around him. Here it is again. NBC News has verified this was filmed inside Dearborn's Fairlane Town Center Mall near Detroit, where the shooting took place. Authorities surrounded the building.
We have multiple officers coming in.
Police haven't yet ID'd the shooters. The victims, all in their teens and early 20s.
One gunshot, one to the leg, one gunshot, one to the head, one gunshot, one to the stomach.
They say a 4th person was hit by a car as they ran.
All I hear was gunshots, ringing.
Witnesses describing the chaos to NBC affiliate WDIV.
What was racing through my head, I got to get home to my daughter.
Authorities believe the shooters knew each other. Stressing at the start of a busy holiday weekend, this was not a random act of violence.
These kinds of acts of violence are completely unacceptable.
Police are interviewing several people who they say were involved, but stress they're still working to identify the shooters, vowing they'll be held accountable. Tom.
Maggie Vespa for us tonight. Maggie, we thank you for that. In New York today, a suspected shark attack at one of the most popular beaches just outside of the city. Park officials at Jones Beach say something bit a swimmer on his foot. Witnesses say he was bleeding profusely, but he's expected to be okay. We want to head overseas now to where Iran says millions are expected to turn out for the former Supreme Leader's funeral. Our Richard Engel is there with rare access inside that country.
The Ayatollah who ruled Iran for over 3.5 decades is now lying in state 4 months after he was killed by the United States and Israel. Today, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was honored by foreign dignitaries and senior Iranian political and military leaders. Khamenei's casket sitting just above those of his relatives, including, Iran says, his 14-month-old granddaughter, killed in the same strike. Across Iran tonight, preparations are underway for a massive week of mourning.
Khamenei's body will remain lying in state over the weekend until it is carried through the streets of Tehran on Monday. Organizers expect 15 to 20 million people will attend. The mayor says it could be the largest public gathering in Tehran's modern history.
For supporters of the Islamic Republic, this is both a show of grief and of national resolve, proof that Iran's revolutionary theocracy still stands, despite President Trump's early promises to overthrow it. Richard Engel, NBC News, Tehran.
And we're back in just 60 seconds with an incredibly disturbing story caught on camera. The doctor who declared an 18-month-old dead, only for that child to be found alive hours later. Plus, we are live outside Madison Square Garden as the celebrities arrive for Taylor Swift's wedding tonight, when we are back from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. We are back now with a wild story. A toddler declared dead, but found alive hours later in an Arizona hospital. Dana Griffin has the body cam video.
Body cam video showing officers outside Phoenix sprinting toward a terrified family holding their 18-month-old boy. The video blurred by police.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
The toddler was found during a Super Bowl watch party unresponsive in the family's pool. The toddler is then taken by ambulance to Arizona's Mercy Gilbert Medical Center, where, according to the police report, resuscitation efforts are taken for several minutes. According to an officer at the hospital, he says the doctor left the room to possibly make a death notification to the parents. While this is happening, the officer hears a nurse say, "I have a pulse," and they continue to try and revive the child. The officer goes to update the doctor, who on body camera is heard saying this. The doctor returns to the room, tells the staff to stop treatment, and declares the child dead at 6:20 p.m.
No objections. I'd like to call time with that.
Several minutes after that call is made, the officer says he and the boy's family expressed concerns that the boy still might be breathing. But 5 hours later, when the medical examiner came to collect the boy's body, he was found breathing. The child ultimately survived and was released from the hospital. In a statement, the hospital saying, "We immediately conducted a thorough review. Out of respect for the patient's privacy, we cannot discuss details." Now, Tom, according to police, the parents could face child abuse charges since they both admitted to smoking marijuana. They left the garage door unlocked and open, and there was no designated supervision during the party. Now, the case is still under review by the Maricopa County DA's office. Tom?
Incredible that child survived all of that. All right, Dana, we thank you. We're back in a moment and switching gears to the wedding everyone's been waiting for. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and the star-studded guest list. That's next. We are back now live from Philadelphia. And as America is celebrating 250 years, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are getting ready to celebrate their union. Our Emily Aketa is there.
The most anticipated wedding festivities of the year tonight getting underway for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce in the heart of New York City. A stream of celebrities, including Hugh Grant, Ethan Hawke, and Jason Sudeikis, seen dressed to the nines, along with a line of SUVs with tinted windows, ushered in through white tents and black screens. The massive footprint and rows of barricades clogging traffic and driving some frustration this busy holiday weekend.
I'm upset. I'm frustrated.
With signs of the transformation inside Madison Square Garden, decadent florals and white structures peeking through in the cruel summer heat. Around 1,000 people, according to an internal police memo, will attend tonight's hours-long rager, likely including country star Brad Paisley.
I'll say it's very likely that I'm going.
But the star-studded festivities drawing Swifties hopeful for intel.
Literally, this is our royal wedding of the century.
Playing out behind a veil of secrecy. Signs at check-in points reading, "Have identification out, have devices ready." Guests signed NDAs included on electronic invitations that merely told them to be in New York from Thursday to Saturday, according to a source invited. But even the heavy security presence surrounding the American royal nuptials leaning in to the fun.
I knew you were trouble. I knew it.
And part of 7th Avenue now reopened with the event underway. This is the closest thing America has to a royal wedding, with the media lined up following every development in this celebration that is anticipated to go until 4 a.m., Tom, according to an event permit.
Our Emily Aketa for us tonight. Emily, thank you. When we come back, tonight's great American, the woman working to preserve the Liberty Bell right here in Philadelphia. We are back now with this incredible moment. 250 people coming together to form, you see it right here, the shape of the Liberty Bell. And tonight, from right here in Philadelphia, our great American, the woman who has protected the Liberty Bell for decades, Debbie Miller.
If a sound could capture the spirit of the American Revolution,
give me liberty,
it might have rung out something like this. A 1-ton bronze bell that first tolled in the mid-18th century marked major moments in early American history. The signing of the Constitution, the deaths of George Washington and Alexander Hamilton. It would become known as the Liberty Bell.
It really was a bell that was there to bring people together.
For nearly 2 decades, archaeologist and curator Debbie Miller has cared for the bell and more than 2 million artifacts at Independence National Historical Park in Philadelphia.
Artifacts are the real thing. They're the literal, tangible, physical link to the past.
Preserving history became her calling.
I think one of my proudest days of being an American was actually when I was given keys to Independence Hall. There's the moment of recognition that, oh my gosh, I care for these things. I'm part of the story of America. Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof.
It would become a rallying cry for the anti-slavery movement in the 1830s, and again for suffragists in the early 20th century.
It will always carry new meaning, and I would argue that that's the power of it as well.
Long after the bell's final toll, it remained a universal symbol and a destination for everyday Americans to President Truman, Queen Elizabeth, and the Dalai Lama.
Ensuring that people continue to learn and to know and to grow in even their own identity as an American. That's really, really important.
Miller's mission is to help see that through.
The bell is now silent by the crack, but it's still ringing throughout the land.
Our thanks to Debbie for her service. That's Nightly News for this Friday from Philadelphia. We'll be live from the Washington Mall tomorrow with a full roundup of the day's celebrations. We hope you'll join us. I'm Tom Llamas. We thank you so much for watching tonight, and always, we're here for you. Good night.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.